Hey builders, I'm Ryan and welcome back to Not a Model. So I'm on hold. My replacement laser cut parts are on order. I don't know when they're going to come. And my quick build fuselage kit that has been under assembly for a few months is delayed a little longer. I assume some laser cut parts got put into that build, and Vans has assured us they will be fixing that with either non-laser cut parts or a different resolution to the problem before the kit gets to me. So I'll let them fix it. That's great. Thank you, Vans, for dealing with it. In the meantime, I'm idle, and I do not idle well. So I thought I'd put together a quick video on how I've used 3D printing to help out with what I've been working on so far. Here's where I made my, I guess, first mistake where I had to order a replacement part. We are on the very beginning of the horizontal stabilizer, so basically page 2. What you end up having to do is fabricate these little brackets that become major structure. They hold the horizontal stabilizer to that rear deck of the tail cone. So what the instructions have you do is start with a length of aluminum stock. So here it is right here. I started in the top left of the diagram. Okay, I need 1 and 21/30 seconds. Are you kidding me? 21/30 seconds. So I did that. Got my fancy magnifying glass out, and just do this kind of quick and dirty. Made my measurements, 1 and 21/30 seconds, not for accuracy. Okay, 1.5 up there. Half of that would be 16. Enter my first cut. There it is. 21/30 seconds and 1.5. Perfect. Let's go on to the next step. Here's where I realized my mistake. Down on the bottom right here, this piece, the stock that's 2 inches, I need to cut it down to 1 inch. Oh, shoot, you're right. What I realized is if I do that, then this length is no longer going to be 21/30 seconds. Back here, it's only like 16, 17, 30 seconds. Crap. Too late. This part's done. So I went into CAD and very quickly designed this little template. I even put the little part number in there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. So now I got my stock that came in from Vans. It literally was just a matter of putting this on here. Let's go off this end. Putting this on here, taking my Sharpie, draw, right? Draw. There's my 8th. Cut that off. The holes, perfectly in the right spot. There you go. There's that piece. When I design a model for 3D printing, I use a website called tinkercad.com. It's made by Autodesk. It is completely free. Just sign up for an account. There's nothing to install. It's just browser based. So, for example, here's that horizontal stabilizer bracket that I just showed earlier, the 1008. And the way you use this is actually quite simple. So if we're going to reproduce this bracket, first thing is let's convert these fractions to decimals. So 1 and 21/30 seconds is 1.656. You can either just divide that or look at a table. So I'll pull this off to the side just so you can see what I'm up to. The way you do this is you add a solid, and then you add a negative to remove space. So for example, let's do that sizing. I want it front to back. I want it 1.063, so inch and an eighth, or inch and a 16th. And then I want the width to be that 1.656. And I want my height to be 2.438. So that's the maximum size of this. Now to make this whole cutout, I bring in a negative cube, right? And it just has to be larger. It doesn't have to be accurate. You'll see why in just a second. And what I'll do is raise this thing up, not an eighth, a 16th. So 0.0625. And I'll view the top, right? This will go inside there, and you use the alignment tool. So just grab any two shapes, and here's this align. I want it to align to that axis. Oh. Align and that one. All right. So now I want to have a 1/16 of an inch here as well. I'll change my snap grid to a 1/16, and I'll just say, oh, I gotta select just the one piece. Down arrow. And there we go. Now to carve that out, you select both and you say group. So now you can see that's how you build these shapes. So this is 1/16 of an inch thick, and I can set that chunk of aluminum in here. So let's delete this for now, and you can see that this actual template is just made of a bunch of groups. So here you can see all of the objects, positive and negative, that I used to make that template. And I'm just going to add these in just using the undo and redo buttons for the interest of time. So the first one cuts out the main area. The second block is this piece that gives the diagonal. So here we've got the 21/32, and that back there is 1.5 inches. And the last couple are those holes. And you export that. So I would click export, and I save it as an STL file. There it goes. So off to the slicer. Okay, so here we are in the slicer. I use Prusa Slicer because I'm using Prusa 3D printers, free software that comes with it. So all you really have to do is make sure you've got your nozzle and the type of filament you're going to use. Because I'm just making a template, I'm actually not putting this piece in the aircraft itself. I'm using cheap, PETG stuff. If you want to get a little more exotic, some of these blends with carbon fibers, PC blend that can handle a whole lot more heat, that's what you'd choose for things that you might actually stick, in your aircraft. So let me just grab that file off the screen here, drop it on. So there's our model that we built, and looks good. So we have got the printer chosen, and we hit slice now, and there you go. I'm going to actually send that to my printer. It comes out as a G-code file. The name is fine by itself. It's uploading it through the network. So that's the process. I'll show you how to print that in just a little bit. In the meantime, these are some of the objects that I've actually done. So these are the other templates for the pieces that are mostly in the tail cone. These are the things that help me, drill the holes in the right spot, make it the right size, the dimensions, especially radiusing these corners. The other one that I've got here is a drill guide. This one's kind of fun for the trailing edge of your elevator. It's got that little wedge. So your drill bit is supposed to be perpendicular, not to the skin of the airplane, but to the cord line. So I designed this little guy. So it's 84 degrees, I believe it was, 86 degrees, I don't remember, with the hole in it and the drill bit. So you set this on the skin, the drill bit stays perpendicular to that cord line for every hole. You're not moving it around. The pieces that were a little harder, because they're radiused, is this little curved number that's on the trim tab base. I had to redo this one a few times before I finally just said, screw it, I'm gonna print it. The holes are a little larger where you attach to those cables. Well, you can see the printer is humming along right now, printing that little part. It looks like it estimates around 45 minutes or so to get that one. So pretty slick stuff. Even if you choose not to design your own pieces in CAD, there are plenty of websites out there to download the work that other people have decided to upload and make available for the community. That's a pretty popular thing in the 3D printing world. There's also a guy out there, Wally, who has one of my favorite designs so far. He's made a dual EarthX battery tray that fits in the standard van's position. So 2 batteries of EarthX weigh less than the originally spec'd battery, and it all holds together nicely with this, and then a cover plate, which I haven't picked yet. So Wally, if you see this, thank you for all your work. For those of you who are new to this, it is customary if someone makes something for you that you download, they usually have an email address. Throw them a tip, throw them some Venmo or PayPal. And lastly, the whole plane. The whole RV-10, well, I haven't put the landing gear on it yet. It comes in multiple pieces that I downloaded, and it's the wings, the fuselage, and then the tail separately. You just epoxy it all together, primed it, and it is ready for some practice painting to figure out what paint scheme we want to have. Then this can sit off in the corner so I can dream about actually flying the real thing. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this was helpful.